Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Recruit Military Live, a series of live broadcasts covering all things military transition, veteran employment, mil-spouse employment, and much, much more. My name is Lucas Connolly, retired U.S. Army officer and former TAP program manager, here to share with you the ins and outs of navigating the turbulent waters into civilian transition. If you are in search of meaningful employment, then you are in the right place. Please visit rmvets.com/live to learn more. Now, as you're transitioning from the military into civilian life, or perhaps making a change in your career, you may have heard that professional certifications can help accelerate your career. If you're interested in hearing more about professional certifications, then you're in the right place. Don't touch that mouse. Our guest today is Mrs. Colleen Drum. She's a veteran of the United States Marine Corps with service in the United States, Japan, Kuwait, and Iraq. In 2019, she joined the team at Syracuse University's D'Amelio Institute for Veterans and Military Families. She currently serves as the Fort Drum Installation Program Manager for the Onward to Opportunity program, helping transitioning service members and veterans alike pursue professional certifications that can help jumpstart their post-military careers. Colleen, welcome to the show.
Hey, good afternoon, Lucas. Thank you so much for having me today. It's always a pleasure to work with you and the Recruit Military team.
Thank you so much for making the time to be here. We really appreciate it. All right, folks, now that you know who we are, we'd love to hear who you are. Who are you with, who you served with, what your status is. Are you in transition? Are you a veteran? Are you a mil-spouse? Are you getting out, considering retirement, or have you been out for a little while and you're thinking about a career change? Anyway, we'd like to hear from you. And if you've got comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to hit us up in the chat and we will address your concerns, time allowing. All right, Colleen, as they say down on the flight line, we are wheels up. Now, before we dive into the topic today, and professional certifications seem to be on the tip of everybody's tongue when it comes to the launching out of the military or making a career change or making yourself above your peers as an applicant candidate in that job search. All
right. Yep. I figured it's the wonderful internet up here in the North Country. But yeah, it's great to be here. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the Onward Opportunity Program, who we are and what we do. So here at Onward Opportunity, we are a no-cost program. We are a nonprofit grant-funded organization, and we are part of the D'Amelio Institute for Veterans and Military Families here at Syracuse University. What we do at Onward Opportunity is we provide career preparation and certification training for certification areas in business management and information technology. And upon completion of your individual certification requirements, we will go ahead and fund that one industry certification exam. Our program is also nationwide. So as you see, my name is Colleen Drum. That is no affiliation to the Fort Drum, but I am one program manager of many. We do have 19 additional installations here and Onward Opportunity, as well as an online program. So if you are located in some of those out of those installation zones, we can absolutely serve you as well. I think I've got you back, Lucas.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we had a little bit of technical difficulty there for a second, but if I heard you correctly, the O2O program has a number of educational pathways to assist transitioning service members, veterans alike, with preparing for and taking those certification exams, those final certification opportunities, and if I'm not mistaken, fund one exam.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is the bread and butter. We'll go ahead, as long as you fulfill all of your requirements for your individual certification, we will fund that certification exam payment.
Okay. Now, why is it that professional certifications have become so popular lately? I certainly heard nothing about professional certifications while I was in the military, definitely not before. But it seems like these days, professional certifications are almost on par with a degree.
Absolutely. Yeah. Certifications are so important because they prove that you are an experienced professional and you have been proven that proficiency by a third party. So it's the reason that employers really love to see certifications is because that proves your credibility in your field. I think the reason I did not hear about certifications while I was transitioning out of the Marine Corps as well. But I think it's because we don't use them a lot in the military. And so I didn't discover the value of certifications until probably my second job, when I started moving upwards in my career and found myself working as a project manager. And I saw the value that my employer saw in certifications. So employers love to see those certifications because they know the work that goes into into earning a certification, that certification process. And the other thing to note is certifications are not that you do need to renew them. So once you earn your certification, you don't have that forever. You are required to renew it typically every 3 to 5 years. And employers recognize that. They know that in renewing your certification, you're staying current in your field, you're staying relevant in your industry, and overall, you're interested in your professional development and being that better asset to your organization.
See, and I love that you identify that these are civilian recognized authorities. You can have been an operations NCO, a field grade officer, a commander, a manager, a logistician in the military. But just saying you did that, for some folks who don't understand the military, that may not be enough to convince them that you know what you're doing, that you could manage a large project or a large program. So those certs then they weigh and test your knowledge, and then they're a testimony to those civilian employers that yes, this person is competent, and they've been weighed, measured, and tested, and found satisfactory in their ability to perform the tasks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where that third party efficacy comes in, through PMI, Project Management Institute, or Human Resources, for that, the HRCI Human Resources Certification Institute. Those are all third party advocates, and they are the ones who you actually take your test through. We partner directly with these governing bodies. So all of our coursework, all of our training is going to mirror what you'll see on that actual certification exam. And once you sit for that exam, and you pass, it's a really great feeling, first of all, but also that's that third party credentialing you and showing to your employer that yes, you have the experience and you married that with education and you came out a proven subject matter expert.
Okay, so in addition to the credibility, I mean, what really is what's the bread and butter of this? Is getting a certification going to help me get employed? Is it going to help me make more money? Outside of a couple of extra initials at the end of my title and a handy little bullet at the bottom of my resume, what can I expect having that certification?
Yeah, I love answering this question as I am growing in my own career, because, when I first sought to earn my own certifications and when I first see folks seeking out their certifications, the number one thing that stands out is, we want the better benefit package, we want the salary increase, we want the promotions, and those are all absolutely true. But I think one of the benefits that really weighs out as you seek to pursue certifications is it's really that development in your learning. I found that as I was earning certifications and going through my certification training, I became more passionate in my industry, in my role. And also I did become a better asset to my organization, learning a little more about what it means to be a project manager, what it means to be a human resources manager or a network specialist working in information technology. You really start to grow and develop that passion in your career field. And that makes you stronger in your career as you move forward. So there's many benefits there, but I think the biggest one that a lot of service members initially go forth seeking is the higher salary associated with it, which is absolutely true. I think we were talking the other day, Lucas, about some statistics, and some industries, some roles, you can earn anywhere from 20% to 50% higher than your counterparts who don't hold certifications. And I can tell you a little why. From business to business perspective, depending on your industry you're looking to work in, there are a lot of industries that require certified professionals to work on specific projects or to hold specific roles in an organization. And so with those credentials, with having that certification, it can absolutely mean having a higher salary attached to it. And having that certification once you are working in that organization can lead to a promotion over some of your colleagues who might not hold a certification and might not be able to work on specific projects. So absolutely, those are some of the I'd say quantitative reasons to earn a certification. But overall, I just really love the learning and the professional development that you gain out of pursuing your certification.
Well, Colleen, I love the learning too, but if it's going to get me some more money at the end of the month, I'm gonna latch onto that. I'm gonna feel
Absolutely.
scholarly and educated and more fulfilled as a person, but I need some do-re-mi in my pocket to pay those bills.
Absolutely.
All right. So you've sold me on the idea of professional certifications. I dig it. I understand. I can see the value in it. More money in my pocket, more education, greater career advancement, opportunities to grow as a professional. How do I know which ones are right for me? I mean, the list of certification opportunities through Syracuse University's O2O is this is length of my arm. How do I know which one is right for me? A lot of it is just a lot of initials and abbreviations. I don't know what half that stuff is.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And one of the most common questions that I get asked when I start talking with folks and mentoring folks. And, I say, think about three main things in the beginning there. First, think about what industry you want to work in. Second, think about what organizations you want to work for. And third, think about what roles you want to be holding in these organizations. And the best way you could seek to find out which certification is going to best serve you in your career is to start doing your research. You can take a look at job postings, job opportunities that you see that you might be interested in. You don't have to be ready to apply now, but you can at least take a look at those qualifications and prerequisites to see, do a compare and contrast to see which certifications might be beneficial to you obtaining this role. And you can also take a look on LinkedIn. Start taking a look at the organizations you're interested in. Start looking at some of the employees that work at these companies. See what does their career look like thus far, which certifications do they hold, what is their education background, and finally, my favorite thing, which is the thing I wish that I had done better through my transition out of the military, is to find a mentor. Start talking with mentors, several mentors, and most importantly for my active duty service members, start talking with civilians, folks that have no military affiliation, that have been working in these career fields, so that you can gain that outside perspective, a different mindset, and see how you can compare and contrast, I guess, is a great way of putting it. But mentors, can't say enough great things about just even, and it doesn't have to be a formal mentor session. You can just have those 10-minute coffee chats, or, reach out to someone, working in the field and see what they recommend as far as certifications.
Okay. Now I understand some of these different certifications have different levels. Take a look at the HR certifications, and I don't want to say there's easier ones, there's harder ones, but there's ones that are more entry level and ones that are more advanced. If we were to hypothetically have a 42 series human resource manager with 20 years of experience in the military, all in the military, no civilian HR experience, is there a level that you would recommend? Should they go for the gusto and try for the hardest one, or start small? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that is another great question. Our certifications here at Onward Opportunity range from beginner to intermediate to advanced on the certification scale. And, I always recommend first doing your research, take a look at the certifications that you're interested in, as many of the more intermediate to advanced certifications will have prerequisites, meaning maybe you need to have a 4-year degree, maybe you need to have a certain number of years of experience. So definitely keep that in the forefront. And second of all, think about your relevant time in the industry and in the field. So us as service members, the way we manage projects in the Army and the Marine Corps are completely different than you would be managing a project, say, in a marketing company, or an information technology company, or construction industry. So, think about, when you're thinking about your certification and your role, think about the relevant experience that you have to that specific industry that you're looking to work in.
Absolutely. Just because Sergeant Major grabs you by the collar and says, "Hey, Colleen, I got a project for you," doesn't make you a project manager.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that'll all come. It all comes with experience. And the first step to gaining more of that knowledge and gaining more of that insight is the education behind it. So, if you are interested in making a complete 180 in your industry shift in the trades, absolutely don't feel discouraged, because that's the beauty of the certifications, is that you're there to learn more and to develop your profession.
All right. I think we've got a good question here, and you've probably heard this one before from Jensen. What certificates would you recommend for a transitioning service member trying to segue into IT?
Oh, absolutely. IT is so hot right now. It's always been a very hot industry, and it's one that you can really grow a lot within. There's a lot of adaptability within IT departments, but the certifications that I highly recommend if you are interested in getting into information technology are our CompTIA certifications. CompTIA is a government or governing accredited body. Sorry, I'm losing my voice already.
I'm not the only one messing up on the script today. God, I love a live show.
Absolutely. And CompTIA they are certifications that are going to set you ahead and set a nice foundation for your career. So first I'd ask you, Jensen, what roles are you looking to do in information technology? There's a lot of niches that you can get into, whether it's cloud or a networking focus or information security or programming. I see a lot of increased demand for folks who have cloud specific and programming certifications right now, but an excellent beginner level certification for IT, and probably one of our most popular would be that CompTIA A+ certification, laying an excellent foundation for your career and a great stepping stone to move into some of those other specialties in IT.
All right. Well, we've got a naysayer in the chat here, and I just can't let this one go. Marlon Kennedy, most certs are scams. Only people who benefit from certifications are the ones who administer certifications and the testing companies. No doubt Syracuse University is an absolute trusted partner in the certification space. However, there are some folks out there that might not be. If someone's looking at another organization, because we know IVMF is bulletproof, no doubt. If someone's looking at another certification program and they're wondering whether or not this is just a diploma mill, are there some things that they can be looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, take a look at who you're going to be taking your exam through. Ensure that it is an accredited governing body for that certification. Take a look at the processes. A lot of times some of those red flags are going to start to stand out. Are they asking you to pay for anything up front? Is there coursework and training associated with it? Are there any reviews on that organization or on that certifying governing body? Most of the time, they should not have to be reaching out to you to sell their product or to sell a certification. That is the biggest red flag right there, is if anybody is dropping into your messages saying, hey, come to us for a certification. That's probably a huge red flag, because certifications are there. If they were so easy, everyone would have one. And that's what I lean by a lot is, if you are seeking to earn your certification, it is expected you are an industry professional, and industry professionals have the experience to back up their desire to earn that education, and they'll seek out their own certifying programs. So if someone's reaching out to you, that's usually a red flag, first of all. But second of all, do your research, talk with folks. Has anyone that used that certification program or earned or obtained that specific certification? Do you know anyone in your career field or in your industry that is currently working and holding and utilizing that certification? So those are some things that you could do to ensure that you're going in the right direction with a specific program.
Okay, we've talked project management. We've talked IT. Tony wants to know about cyber. Cyber is on everybody's lips. Cyber, this, cyber. Yep. I don't know anything about cyber. I don't know anything about cyber. If I wanted to get into cyber with no experience, is there some niche in that program that maybe I should start looking at?
Well, so this is another common question we get asked a lot. Everybody wants to be everyone wants to be a hacker. Everyone wants to get into cybersecurity. And first of all, know that cybersecurity is a little more on that intermediate to advanced side of the house when it comes to working in the IT field. So the best way that someone has explained this to me that sticks is, in order to protect the house, you need to understand how the house is built. And so it's really nice to form a foundation first to develop your cybersecurity career, and usually starting with a networking foundation or a nice foundation. Networking is usually a prerequisite, but here at Onward Opportunity, we do have our CompTIA Security Plus certification, which is very popular and holds really great value in the cyber field. And if you are looking just super beginner level to learn just a little bit more about what it means to work in the cybersecurity field, we do have our Cisco Cybersecurity IT Specialist, which is a great beginner level certification for those who are new to the world of cyber and want to just learn a little more about what it's about.
All right, Tony, I hope that addresses it for you. Ronald, he wants us to go back to HR. Could you take a second and talk about the HRM cert levels and what those can you decipher some of the alphabet soup for us there?
Yeah.
HRM, SHRM, AHRM, HRM, ABCDEF. I don't know what any of this stuff means. Help me out here.
Absolutely. I do see some folks with so many certifications, it does read like an alphabet after their name. But there are two, really, if you are, back to someone had asked about how do I recognize an accredited certification, when I see one, Human Resources has two excellent certification governing bodies that a lot of folks will recommend. First is that SHRM, and then the second is HRCI, which is what we offer here at Onward Opportunity. And HRCI is the Human Resources Certification Institute, and they offer certifications ranging from beginner, intermediate to advanced. If you are getting started in HR, we've got an excellent Associate Professional in Human Resources certification, which is great for anyone with, I'd say, less than 3 years of experience in human resources. And then we
civilian experience?
Even civilian or military experience, that's a great certification to lay a foundation in your HR career. And then we've got two more advanced certifications, our Professional in Human Resources, or you may see a PHR, who I just had somebody pass their PHR exam yesterday. And then we also have our Senior Professional in Human Resources. And back to your question where you were saying, Lucas, civilian versus military experience. This is kind of when you might want to take a look at your industry experience between those two. The PHR is a great professional certification as well as the senior professional. But once you get to that senior level, it's going to start diving into a lot of topics you might not be familiar with in the military, such as FMLA. If a lot of us don't hear about that, and some of those more strategic elements in wrapping around driving the vision and mission statement of an organization. But ultimately, human resources certifications, I recommend the Human Resources Certification Institute, and take a look at our 3 levels of certifications that we have, and you may find one that fits you, Ronald.
Okay, Ronald. So APHR,
PHRM,
SPHRM,
no
and a
M.
partridge in a pear tree. All right, you got it, Ronald. So there's where it's at. Easy, so to speak, intermediate, more advanced, an opportunity there depending on your skill level. Love it.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Ronald, for your question. Now, Colleen, imagine for a minute that you've just got just a few seconds, say an elevator ride with a transitioning service member. They just happen to catch you in a hallway and they have just a couple of seconds to talk to you. If you can give them just one piece of advice, one thing to carry away from the conversation about professional certification opportunities, what might that be?
Oh yeah, my favorite. I love finding those random questions and running into folks. I feel like you get the best advice when you have a quick 10-minute conversation with somebody. But my biggest piece of advice is don't be afraid to explore. Really, I hate the word go with your passion, because I really think when you're transitioning out of the military, and even for some of our military spouses, it's more a matter of discovering where your passion lies. And there are so many awesome jobs out there, and jobs that I didn't know existed until probably 5 years after I separated from the Marine Corps. So my biggest piece of advice is to do lots of research and talk with mentors, and don't be afraid to look into certifications that you might not have any experience with in the military, because this is an opportunity for you to fill in those education gaps and maybe go in a different direction. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Find a mentor, do some research, and don't be afraid to explore.
All right. And Colleen, if somebody wants to find out more about the Syracuse University IVMF and the Onward to Opportunity program, where should they go?
Oh, I can go ahead and type a link into the chat, but if Lucas and Sean don't beat me to it, but I'd say the very first place to go would be to fill out an Onward Opportunity application and our application site. On that application page, and it'll give you a drop down of options. As I mentioned early on, we actually have 19 different installations and an online program. So when you complete that application, you can select your closest location, and that application will automatically go to a enrollment team, a program coordinator, a program manager, and they will reach back out with you to walk you through their individual enrollment process, which is very easy. It's really a matter of 2 or 3 steps. We are very flexible here at Onward Opportunity, and I like to say our goals or your goals become our goals. So first step, fill out that application and get working with the team.
There's something I got to save around here. I got an alibi fire over here on lane 6. How does this dovetail into Skillbridge? Somebody told me that you can do certification, educational track during Skillbridge. Is that true?
Absolutely. So depending on your location, some of our installation locations, such as mine here at Fort Drum, we participate in the Skillbridge program. So here at Fort Drum, we are part of the Career Skills program, which actually allows service members time away from their command in order to participate in Onward Opportunity and to earn their certification prior to their ETS, prior to their terminal leave date there. So depending, I guess the first step, like I said, fill out your application, take a look at the options in your area, but absolutely depending on your location and chain of command participation there, we do fall under the Skillbridge program.
All right, fantastic, folks. You heard it here. Great way to build your credibility and by pursuing certification opportunities with recognized civilian agencies. Great way to get that certification program going during your Skillbridge opportunity. Colleen, thanks a bunch for being here on the show today, and we will drop that link in the chat immediately after the show.
Absolutely. I just gave the link to Sean, so please go ahead and pop it in the chat. And also, I'm available. So if you guys have me on LinkedIn, you can send me messages, and I can always connect you with one of our team members. But thank you so much, Lucas. It was a pleasure being here today, and always a pleasure talking with you. I'm passionate about the subject.
Well, it shows. It shows, Colleen. And thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Head to the Syracuse University website, folks, and check out that Onward Opportunity program. You might just find something that can advance your career exponentially. And for those of you who are looking for career opportunities, do yourself a favor if you haven't already done so and go to www.recruitmilitary.com. That's www.recruitmilitary.com, where you will find over 400,000 job opportunities from more than 16,000 employers. Recruit Military is on a mission to help veterans, transitioning service members, and mil spouses alike find meaningful employment opportunities. For those of you who choose to tune in every week, be sure to tune in next week with some special guest host and a special guest when Raul Torres and Gabby Pettigrew will be discussing. And there's some amazing folks from right here in the Recruit Military team. Gabby and Raul will be on the show to discuss their experience transitioning from military service to civilian employment. That's next Wednesday at noon on Recruit Military Live.
I'll be there.
I'll be there too. I can't wait. Until then, this has been Lucas Connolly for Recruit Military. Good luck and Godspeed.